It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at a dead simple little dice game called Balloon Pop. Balloon Pop is a push your luck dice rolling game, which is sort of Yahtzee-ish. You are rolling, hoping to push your luck, get a bunch of points, but not push it so much that you burst the balloons and they go pop. So, let me show you how this works, then we'll come on back. I'll tell you how I think the game works, if I think it's a good game. So here's everything that the game comes with. It comes with a pad of these sheets for every player. Everybody's going to get one, the pencil, the 5 dice. You make sure you give one of these to everyone and you are ready to begin. The objective is to get the most points over 3 breaks, which are scoring rounds. And those are going to happen when someone bursts one or more of these balloons. And so when they reach all the way to the top of one of these columns, burst the balloon and score some points. And the general concept is you want to get very close to doing that, but then not actually pop the balloon. Because as you can tell from looking at the scores written on the sheet, there is a big drop-off once you go from the penultimate spot there to the very final place. And so how does the round go? Very easily. Everybody is going to take turns. Starting from the first player, they're going to pick 3 dice. They're going to roll their 3 dice, and they are going to decide if they want to keep that roll or if they want to re-roll. If you keep that roll, in this case, I like to do it just working my way across here. There's no yellow. There's 1 blue, so I would circle the bottommost spot in blue. So I would do that. And then there's 2 red, so I would circle those 2. There is 1 star, 1 moon, and 1 kite there. So again, I would circle the bottom of each. And as soon as there's a scoring, I would just score the total of the highest circled in each column. But let's say I don't want to keep that. Let's say instead I want to re-roll because I want more of the extremes, let's say. So I'm going to keep the kite, but I'm going to re-roll everything else. When you re-roll, you have to add a die to your pool. And so I'm going to keep this one, but I have to re-roll these 3 here. And now I've got a couple of moons, a couple of blues, and this other die. And let's say I want to stop now, that's fine. I would write this down. If I want to keep going, I could, again, lock anything I want to, but again, I have to add 1 die. This would be the last one. And I could have my final roll now, and that's what I've got. And if this is what I have to end up with, and I have to lock it down now, I don't have any more dice to add, so you get at most those re-rolls, then again I go in and I circle. So 1 yellow, the 3 blue now would put me all the way up here. The 1 red would actually have only gone up to the first level here. The stars, I have the 1. The moons, I have all 3 moons now. And then still just 1 kite. And then it's the next player's turn after that. And again, they would have their own sheet, and they would again begin with 3 dice, roll it. If they want, they can stop right then and there. They can re-roll, but they have to add a die, and so on. Whenever somebody makes it all the way up to the top of a column, and so, I've done this, and I've done that. I've made some progress around the cheat sheet here. Okay, and then I roll and I get yellow. And I burst that balloon. Well, that's the first break, let's say. And I'm going to add my score and write it in the first break, but so is everyone else. When I trigger a scoring, everybody gets to score. And so my score would be the 3 and the 7 here for 10, 12, 17, 26, 29. And I would write that down, upside down in this case, which is a little bit tricky. Here we go. And everybody else would write whatever their total is. We keep going. By the way, if I burst more than 1 balloon at the same time, that's still just 1 break. Once there have been 3 distinct breaks, then we add those 3 up. You're going to end up with something that looks like that. And you write down your final score. Whoever has the final score that is the highest is, of course, the winner of the game. And that's it. So there you have it. Super easy, super simple little dice game that by now seeing the overview, you already should know if this is something that's for you or not. Or more likely, if you're watching this video, you can think of perhaps someone you could get it for. And I think this game knows that target audience. This is the kind of game that you're going to want to get for yourself or someone if you enjoy light dice game, push your luck, something you can throw in a bag and take with you, something very casual, and it works for that. It's not great for that, but it does work for that. I think a couple of the issues I have with it is that the replayability is not really going to be there. I think you will tire of this one probably fairly quickly. As long as you don't burn out on it, I think you'll be okay though. And I think that the dice, while very well constructed, these are nice dice. I don't like that they went with yellow for the third color on these dice. The legibility on those just does not really pop for me. No pun intended there. So, yeah, I don't know why they went with yellow. Any other color would have been great. So that's it. There's not a whole lot to say about this tiny little game. I think it's okay. I think the push your luck in it is the idea of you can re-roll, but you have to add a die is neat. Works well. It's a little bit of a game of playing chicken sometimes. You know, it's got that turtling aspect to it a little bit. But the game is short enough where the concept of turtling will not be pronounced in this one. So I wouldn't worry about that if that's sort of what you're picking up on as you see the overview. But yeah, that's it. Not really a lot to say. I would recommend that as maybe a stocking stuffer or something. But it's not one I'm going to be hanging on to. I think there's a lot of better push your luck games out there. There's better roll and write kind of games. And so it doesn't quite work for me. But for someone who is a huge fan of Yahtzee or a huge fan of that style of game, and they want something a little bit different, but not too different, I think this is going to be a good one for that.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.